Lauren says she's going over to Jason's grandparents' house to hang out because apparently they have a super nice house. And Rupert, is this a thing? Do you go over to rich people's houses to just go on dates?
Not dates, but if my grandparents' house looked like that, like, fuck me, I'd be hanging out there all the time.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Millennial TV. Today we're going to recap Laguna Beach Season 2, Episode 14, The End of the Beginning. We are your hosts, Adrian,
Candace,
and Liz.
And today we have a returning guest, Rupert. If you missed it, we had Rupert on last season to tell us all about his time being at Laguna Beach High School while Laguna Beach, the TV show, was filming. He was in the same year as the Season 1 crew, so he told us all about what the buzz was like in school when MTV came by, and some stories he had with some of the castmates. If you want to listen to the episode that Rupert was on in Season 1, it's called He Doesn't Even Go Here. We plan to have Rupert back on specifically during this episode because of the behind-the-scenes tidbit he shared with us. We'll get him to share that story again when we get to that scene later this episode. But Rupert, we know you listen to our podcast. What do you think about it? Did it remind you of some of the spots that you used to go to in Laguna?
I mean, it's been pretty funny to hear it back because I will often listen to you guys, and even mid-listen, I'll text Lizzie and being like, yeah, so that thing you guys talk about at this moment in this episode, this is like this, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And like I'll send her the text and being like, there's like, here's an amendment for, I'm like, it won't matter. It's just, I guess you guys will know now, but
Yeah.
it makes me laugh a lot. It's been fun. It's also, it's just been cool to revisit it because I didn't really ever expect to do that. And to like have the excuse to do it has been a lot more like fun than I really expected. And I have a lot more fond memories than like weird ones or bad ones or anything like that. So it's been cool.
Well, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So we hear you have like a speed run that you are going to do of season, is it just 2 or 1 and 2?
1 and 2. A lot of these you guys will just know because they're funny, but there's a few insider knowledges and because some slang moments I can shed a little light on and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Well, catch us up.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also wanted to do like an amendments from my previous episode and being like, geez, I said the word parlay a lot. Why did I do that? And like became Claire's biggest fan on like in public. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But like, all right. So Season 1, Episode 1, Surf and Sand Party. In the intro, like the actual like Hillary Duff thing, I talked about like when I first came on the Stephen Coletti arms when he's like skimboarding. It's like a churning motion. Me and my friends eventually just dubbed that the Stephen Coletti arms, which like it was a term of endearment, not a term of hatred or anything like that, because it's like it is a weird thing like you do for balance. But anyway, 5:43, first shot of Trey in the show. Cherry red sweater over a light blue oversized dress shirt. His collar's popped all the way up to his ears. He looks like a preppy Dracula. 11:45 talent intro at La Serena with Kristen. La Serena is downtown, not too far from Pomodoro or whatever is Pomodoro now. And there's also a second location in South Laguna, but whatever. That's for the locals. Episode 2, Season 1, 5 minutes, Justin B sighting. It's when Trey crosses the street. Well, he says Justin's last name. He goes, Botros. So, I mean, I guess that's fine to say his full name because it's already there.
Yeah.
Good buddy. Shout out, Justin. 16:30, Laguna Surf and Sport location shot. They clearly asked somebody to walk out of the store carrying a surfboard. It looked so unnatural. It was really funny. I think it might have been the manager, Jason, who they show later on. It's not crazy to walk out of a surf shop holding a surfboard, but like the way it's shown, I was like, they definitely asked somebody to do that. Season 1, Episode 3, 4:05, Steven pulls up to Trey's house with a fake surf report playing on the radio. So when Steven pulls up to his house, there's like a guy talking about the surf conditions on the radio. That doesn't make sense. There would be no one to do that. Like, there's no Laguna Beach radio station. The radio stations are in San Diego and Los Angeles, and they don't give surf reports. The surf report was a phone number you called. You called the lifeguard. It's not on the radio. Wow. That's not a real thing. So MTV, like, spliced that in there. 11:55, the first appearance of the Coffee Klatch. Hell yeah. I worked at the Coffee Klatch for like almost 3 years. 19 minutes, Kristen brings up her ex-boyfriend Zach at dinner with Steven. Pretty sure Zach is my good buddy Zach D. We're in the same grade. We've known each other since we were like 3 years old. Pretty sure it's him because there's only 2 Zachs in my grade, and it was unlikely to be the other one.
Oh my God, you know somebody who dated
know.
Kristen Cavallari.
Yep. I actually didn't realize, like, the reason I don't know Kristen personally. I knew Mike, her brother, because like we had classes together. I met him like right when he moved to Laguna, and I didn't realize she didn't move with him. Like I met him going into 8th grade. Like I met him at the beach on like on Thalia Street. Kristen didn't move there till later, and she didn't start at Laguna until her sophomore year, which means that was my senior year, which means I was going to continuation school. So I didn't go to school with her. So that makes a lot more sense as to why I didn't really know her or see her around much.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a little background info. Season 1, episode 4, 9:15. Lowe's pitch to Elsie's dad to get Elsie ungrounded. Elsie's dad mentions Mr. Only. That's a teacher at the high school, obviously. He was my surf team coach when I was on the surf team my sophomore year. He's like an old stoner guy, drove a VW bus, very like fuddy-duddy, goofy kind of guy. So it's kind of weird to think that like Lauren wasn't getting a passing grade from him. 11:50, the iconic nail salon scene. I'm pretty sure Lauren Conrad's Louis Vuitton bag is fake.
Ooh. How come?
I can tell the straps on it are too pale. Like, so Louis Vuitton bags, they patina really easily. And I used to work in fashion. I know these things.
Oh, I love it.
If she had a real one, it's like, yeah, no surprise there. She's extremely wealthy. But it looks more fake to me from there. But I mean,
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong. And then, if Lauren wants to, come on here and make me eat my words, I'll happily do so. So what's up,
Yeah,
Lauren? Come on the show. My good friend Christine lives where Lauren lives, and we talked the other day on the phone, and she said she bumped into Lauren just a couple days ago.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
I'm not freaking out.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Season 1, episode 5, Cabo. 8 minutes. Steven messes up Elsie's hair. 14:20. Steven and Shane get off the boat, but Shane is a dude you see in the background a lot. He's a tall redhead guy. They get off the boat, and Shane goes, "So many people have died here."
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes, "Dude, how are you going to skim that?" And then Steven proceeds to skim in terrible conditions. 1950, the fucking montage to end the episode when it's like Steven doing deep thinking while he's skimboarding, and it's like the montage of other stuff playing and all the voices. It's just so fucking
good.
funny. And then he goes skimboarding in really bad waves again. And I have a running tally of that. So season 1, episode 6, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Why is Trey carrying his longboard into a meeting at an art gallery? He's with 2 other people that are not skateboarding. Season 1, episode 7 is the prom. Dieter sets up his prom proposal at Alta Laguna, which is a park up towards one of the elementary schools. It's at the very top of town. Trey skates up to help Dieter out, but the way he skates up to him, it almost implies like he skated from like his house or something, but that's way up on a hill. You can't skate there from anywhere unless it's the parking lot. So it's like he parked in the parking lot and then skated the like 50 yards over to Dieter or whatever, which was probably another MTV thing. 10:55, the girls have an innocent laugh about Christina going to prom with Bo H. They laugh. I think it's because Christina's kind of tall and Bo is like a short king.
Oh.
I think that's kind of like where the humor came from,
Okay.
because you
We
could tell.
were wondering about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed to me that it's not at Bo's expense that they're laughing, whereas like when they're laughing about David in the scene prior, they're laughing at David's expense, whereas like Bo wasn't like that. It's because Bo's a great guy. Bo H. Shout out Bo. Anyway, season 1, episode 8, Christina rapping along to 50 Cent. Ick.
Cringe.
Season 1, episode 9, graduation. 9:50, Low listening to Leonard Skinner, kind of random. Season 1, episode 10, 6:50, Steven carrying a skimboard wax side in. What the fuck? Like you put wax on the top so you don't slip off. And if you carry it on the inside, that means it's rubbing all over your shirt. That's just not a thing anyone does. Why are you doing that? I just had to point that out. It was like, it just drove me insane. 8 minutes, Steven and Trey share Steven's board and skim really bad waves. And then 20 minutes, 20 seconds, the end of the episode. It's Steven's best moment on the whole show when he says I wish I could take a picture of your eyes from this close and tape it to my forehead when I'm missing you or whatever.
Heart melt.
No, Adrian.
I actually thought that was like very, very sweet.
Thank
like that.
you. Oh my God, that was the sweetest.
Yeah,
No.
that got me in the feels. I liked it.
Candace has no heart.
I just don't enjoy Steven as a person. on the show. I don't know him personally.
Yeah, like when you only get to see one facet of someone's personality that's continuously hammered on over and over, like, yeah, he shows his ass a lot in this show.
Yeah.
So, end of season 1 right here. Season 1, episode 11, everyone leaves. 1 minute and 15 seconds. Steven once again skimming bad waves. Reoccurring theme. I feel kind of bad. He never gets a chance to skim good waves, so it just looks like he's bad at skimboarding the whole time. Anytime Jen Bundy says anything, her friends look at each other in sheer disbelief of how stupid she is. And then, why is Steven surfboard in his truck at the airport? This is my last note for season 1. Season 2, episode 1, everyone comes home. 10:35, Kristen parks below Wahoo's to meet up with Steven. Not cool, because she's parking in the customer parking spot for Wahoo's and going to the beach and not going to Wahoo's.
Oh my gosh.
I hate that. It makes me angry. 1920, Jason says something about Alex being kinky. And like, what would a 17 or 18-year-old even consider kinky?
Yeah. Ew.
Like so cringy, like so gross. Ew, ew, ew. My description for season 2, episode 2 is Jason being not a great dude. My only notes are 3:35, Steven head rub, and Jessica says something like, doesn't matter, every guy has always treated me like shit, which like I felt like the air go out the room the first time I heard that. I was just like, oh baby, God, I just like wanted to give her a hug. It was brutal. And also like suggest maybe going to therapy, but not in a funny way, like in a serious way. But anyway.
Yeah, aw.
Season 2, episode 3, 10:25, first internal shot of Sanchigo after being mentioned 1,000 times. Everyone picks up sushi from Sanchigo. That is my personal favorite restaurant in Laguna. It just closed down in September, and I'm very, very sad.
Yeah.
And then 12 minutes, 3 seconds, Steven head rub. Season 2, episode 4, 9 minutes, 40 seconds, JP. A little background info on JP. Great guy for one, extremely nice, very artistic. But if you want to see some funny footage of JP, he's in a music video for Tommy Lee, like from Motley Crue. When
gosh.
Tommy Lee tried to go like relaxed pop, he filmed a music video of like driving around in a convertible in Laguna, like on PCH, and JP's in the music video. So if you want to see a pretty corny music video with Tommy Lee playing really bad music that JP is in, go look it up on YouTube. Season 2, episode 5, 8 minutes and 45 seconds. The nail salon the girls go to in this episode, it's also the same one where Taylor gets pranked for when Jake asked her to prom or whatever the fuck it is. That nail salon is actually right next door to the Coffee Klatch. So the more you know.
Oh, that's cool.
Moving on, season 2, episode 6, Kristen and Steven go to Rumari, which is a restaurant that's still there. I used to live around the corner. Funny enough, Robert Englund also used to live right near there. I would see him walking his dogs all the time. Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger, for those that are not familiar. 12:45, Steven head rub. Season 2, episode 7, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, shows outside of Talon's house, which is a different house than it showed prior, which I'm pretty sure it's because it shows Talon's dad's and mom's house. They both live in Laguna. 12 minutes and 40 seconds. The quesadilla line. Jesus fucking Christ. Season 2, episode 8. I just called it filler drama. 14 minutes. Taylor's Betty Boop gang shirt. I loved it. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what that shirt was, but I immediately was like, I don't know how to search for that on eBay, but I want to find it in XL and I want one really bad.
It was a great shirt.
Yeah, totally. It's great. 15 minutes. Not sure any locals actually eat at C'est La Vie, but it's still there. It's right on PCH downtown. I think that's the awkward dinner with Chris and Alex, and Taylor, sorry, that's right. Yeah, Taylor's there because Kristen and Taylor don't get along. That's right. 16:35, Thalia Surf Shop, pronounced Thalia. There you go, Adrian. Season 2, episode 9, Cabo, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Title card that says it's Jason's house. It's showing a house that's actually down the street from my house. I'm fairly certain Jason did not live there unless his family moved there after or something like that. This shows like right in front of the house, there's this little triangular cement island with like red curbs on it. I would skate that all the time when I was younger. Funny enough, that house that it does show that as Jason's house back in like the late 90s, I was skating by one time to go downtown towards Golden Spoon. I see a bunch of people gathered outside the house and a guy walks out and he's wearing a safari hat and he's being filmed. And I was like, what's going on here? And I got a little bit closer and it was Bill Nye.
What?
So like Bill Nye was filming like an intro scene walking out of that house. And that's the house that they show as Jason's house. So
wow.
Yeah, kind of a funny anecdote. Season 2, episode 10, Kristen goes to San Francisco and is Casey even a real person? Yeah, 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Billy the pup in his little striped polo,
Yes.
iconic. Best outfit of that episode for
That's
sure.
what I said.
Shout out to Billy. 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Maybe one of the most insane apologies I've ever heard in my fucking life. Also, it's probably the only authentic Casey moment on the entire show, because like every other scene that she is in, you can tell she is being fed a prompt by MTV. Everything seems very inauthentic, and this is the only moment where it seems like she's speaking from the heart, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Which is just a really rough look, because that's literally one of the worst apologies I've ever heard in my fucking life, and like that's not just straight up gaslighting or something. 1540, technically a Steven head rub. Kristen's wearing his hat. He rubs her head and then takes his hat back. Season 2, episode 11, I just have one note. It's 1 minute and 5 seconds in. Jessica very confidently, don't hate the game, hate the player.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 12, 1510 shows Mr. Darnell, Bill Darnell, my ceramics teacher, taking photos at the prom. I'm pretty sure he had like a daughter like in one of those grades, but cool guy, awesome ceramics teacher. My favorite class in high school by far. And then 1920, Alex H. My favorite quote of the entire series. Like it's her talking about Casey. It goes, her hair and her makeup and everything is like so different. Like how she puts on makeup on is like Mission Viejo or like inland Orange County. It's not like Laguna Beach.
Do you have insight on what that means?
Yeah, we were wondering about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're from the area, you know exactly what that means. But I don't really consider Laguna South Orange County, even though it's like it's like central southern, but like a lot of the inland and southern like cities that touch or are near Laguna are pretty different. Like some of them aren't beach cities, and so they're more just like wealthy upper middle class and upper class suburbs. Some of them working class as well, but like a place like Mission Viejo does have a lot of like McMansions and like really, really expensive track homes that are like, you know, those really upper tier, like 4+ bedroom ones and stuff. And the people that live there are not beach cities people. Like Mission Viejo is considered a beach city, but like they're not people that live like the beach life like people like from Laguna do, where everyone is salty and doesn't wear makeup, and salty as in like having salt on their body from the ocean
from the
is
beach.
what I mean. Sorry.
Like literally salty.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
salty attitude. But like Laguna is it truly is its own bubble, and other places like Mission Viejo or Ladera Ranch, the people that are from there and like that live there are genuinely very, very different from people from Laguna.
Got it.
And yeah, there's one episode before the one we're getting into. There's 3 notes. Steven skims bad waves. Jason Waller's holding a Keystone Light, and it cuts away and cuts back. He's holding a red Solo cup, and then Elsie's confusing personality. That's it. That's everything else is done.
I love it. She does have a confusing personality.
So yeah, the rest of my notes are for this actual episode, so we can just let's fucking
Perfect.
get into it.
Let's
Okay.
go.
On the Previously On, Kristen says Steven thought he'd be hanging out with Lauren over the summer, but she was into Jason, and that was about to be the talk of the town. But the seniors had other things to say about graduation, and apparently that means Alex M. and Casey making up. Kristen also says she's finally getting to be in a good place with Steven. And that's all we really get in this Previously On. It seems like it's going to be a pretty mellow episode recapping graduation, similar to what we had in the first season.
So you said that they had other things to talk about regarding graduation, but what she says is, but we had bigger things to worry about than Lauren and Jason. And I was like, first of all, that is low-key catty. And I love MTV like insinuating drama with like Steven thought he was going to hang out with Lauren all summer, but she's into Jason. Like, I don't think that Steven thought that.
I still do.
Maybe he did, but like, I don't think it was like to that degree. Like, I don't think he was like tripping, for lack of a better word.
I think Liz and I are on the fence.
So I thought that was, yeah, I thought it was funny.
In the first scene, we see Kristen, Alex, and Jessica talk about things people wrote in their yearbooks. They mention how crazy it is that after all these years of school, it's about to end. Alex H. says that Talon's not coming to graduation, and they all say it's lame. He's not going to walk across the stage, but he is going to get his GED, which is the first time they've talked about it on the show, even though Talon has said that he stopped early or middle of senior year and was on the GED track basically the whole time.
But the way they address it, like Talon not coming to graduation, is like he got in trouble and not that he dropped out. I think I thought when it first aired that he decided not to walk, because there were people who did do that at my school. They were just
That's
like,
what
yeah,
I
I'm not
got-
walking
took
because I don't
away.
want to.
Mhm.
So that's what I had thought. And I think I just missed the like GED part, because I think in my head I was just like, oh, he just didn't want to walk at graduation. But the way they address it, like now looking at it, it seems like they're trying to make it seem like Talon got in trouble, but they don't address it. So it's really strange.
It's very weird.
I think, yeah, it's like it's pretty well established that he wasn't even like living in Laguna anymore. He like moved up to LA like
Right.
midway
Mhm.
through the year and stuff. But yeah, kind of weird to just not go. But then I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, just being on the show, you would think he would show up
Mhm.
to graduation. Like
Yeah.
they would write
Right.
him there, but I don't know. And I did, like, they're talking about like writing in each other's yearbooks or whatever. I miss this so much because I remember saving like whole yearbook pages for my
Mhm.
friends. And if you didn't take a whole page in my yearbook, you were not a true bestie. Like you were not like I had like several pages, and you could like buy filler pages too. So I used to like
Oh my
buy
God.
extra, and like I'd save a whole extra page because
Wow.
our yearbooks
How'd
had,
they get like
one blank
put
page.
in?
Yeah.
They're sticky. So you
Oh.
like the corners are sticky, so you just like stick it in
Ah,
the
That's
end.
crazy.
And
Huh.
I would just write like I'd put like a big box around the page and be like Kelsey's page or like Ariel's page, and like they had to fill up the whole page, otherwise they're not your true best friend, you know?
Yep.
Bad friend alert.
No
Yeah.
hags for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't want a KIT with your phone number, okay? Like I want the real deal.
Wait, what's KIT?
Keep in touch.
Oh, okay. That was out by the time
I
I was
didn't
in
know that
school.
either. I was like, I'm gonna figure
Oh,
this out
okay.
contextually.
Yeah. Or you rock, don't ever change.
From Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then Jessica asks, why are Steven and Dieter going? Is it because they want to go? And Kristen tells her, Dieter wants to see you graduate and Steven wants to see me graduate. Then Alex pipes in and says, well, they're like friends with everybody. Then Jessica and Kristen exchange a look, and Kristen starts laughing and says, they still like us, which I kind of believe.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
it
true.
is.
But I think it's actually sweet that Steven and Dieter want to see the girls graduate. Like, they're so
Mhm.
nonchalant about their first love still loving them, and I would have been like a melted puddle over it. Like, I think it's so sweet. Like, to go see like your first love graduate high
It's
school.
sweet, but it's like a little sad.
I mean, it's a little sad, but even Dieter says later, like, I told you I would be at your graduation.
He was so
like,
weird in that scene afterward, though.
He's always
It was
weird
a
with
little
Jessica.
weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like nice that there's commitment, but also like kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Yeah,
Why are you
exactly,
spending your
yeah.
time here?
I think I remember Steven mentioning that like MTV asked them to go. So like that's why they went.
That makes
That makes
sense.
sense.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
probably. Yeah.
Maybe they just genuinely wanted to go. I went to other people's graduations, but I don't know.
I did too, but I would have been pissed I had to give up one of my tickets to my ex. Like, we didn't have tickets to graduation at my school, but I still would have been pissed I had to give up one to my ex. Like, that's kind of annoying.
That's true. I think when I graduated, we had a limited amount of tickets too. It's like you get like 6 or 7 or something like that for your family members. So yeah, that would be annoying.
Then we're at Elsie's house watching her do her sheets with her friends Heidi and Jen Bunny. They talk about Lauren's date with Jason, and they talk about the car that Jason drove them in. Jen asks her, what did you guys talk about? And Lauren says, I don't know, just stuff. And, oh yeah, that's right, because between the, you look so cute, and, oh, that's so sweet, I don't know what they talked about either. Then Jen asks what she's doing today, and Lauren says she's going over to Jason's grandparents' house to hang out because apparently they have a super nice house. And Rupert, I wanted to ask you, as a resident Laguna Beach expert, is this a thing? Do you go over to rich people's houses to just hang out or go on dates?
I mean, not dates, but it's so funny because like looking through the show notes, I was like, do people go to like your grandparents' house? I'm like, if your grandparents' house
Yeah.
looks like that, like absolutely yes. Like I know a couple people that like their grandparents have a house that overlooks the beach, has a jacuzzi. I mean, I think everything revolves around the jacuzzi a lot of the time. So it's like you hit up your one friend, and then like that person sees if their grandparents are home or whatever, or if they're like out on vacation. If, obviously this is the context of like these are the friends that you have that are probably pretty wealthy. But you hit them up and you're like, dude, it's freezing at the beach. Let's leave. Like, we want to go to the jacuzzi, and like hit up so and so or whatever, and then go to their grandparents' house or whatever. Like, I've definitely done that. Like, it's not as weird as it sounds, but yeah. And I mean, honestly, if my grandparents' house looked like that, like, fuck me, I'd be hanging out there all the time.
That's true.
I wonder if that's really his grandparents' house, though, or if it's,
I know. We'll talk about it later, because it doesn't look like... It looks like a house we've seen before, but I'll save it for later.
So, but I do want to point out, why are they randomly making Lauren's bed, like, as a group activity?
I had that thought
true,
too.
yeah.
You know what? I wanted to say that, but then I was like, okay, do I just not have like friends over all the time? Because Candace, you said like Kelsey's always over at your house, or you're always at Kelsey's.
Mhm.
Do you guys do each other's sheets?
No.
I mean, I guess if she was just like doing the laundry and she's like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be weird to just stand there and watch her do it and not help. So
Like, I guess if I happened to be doing that while she was there, but like,
yeah.
no, that never happened. I've actually helped Kelsey clean her house, though. Her mom would be like, you guys can have friends over, but you have to clean our house first. So we would like do chores to have friends over, but like, that's the only thing I can think of in regards to that.
You definitely wouldn't be doing that if you knew you were filming a TV show.
No. And did you guys notice Jen's outfit in this scene? It's the most millennial thing I've ever seen. She's wearing one of those like shrugs, and she's got pearls on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so epic. Like, her outfit was amazing.
Oh my God. Is she about to get your favorite outfit?
Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Next, we see Steven arrive at Kristen's house, and he finds her at her desktop computer, which I think is so cute, because these days you'd be on your phone or your laptop, but back then we all had a family desktop computer that we all shared, so it really brought me back to back in the day.
I thought she was on MySpace at first, and I got really excited. But then as the camera moved, it was just MSN.
I realized it was email.
Yeah, it was an email. I was so excited, though. I was like, oh my gosh, she's on MySpace. And then no, she wasn't.
Was it too early for MySpace
No.
back then?
No.
It was
I
like,
guess
right,
not.
just becoming a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like just taking off.
Yeah.
Because I remember all the cast members had like pictures of them with signs up being like, I do not have a MySpace, or like, I do have a MySpace.
That's funny.
I know, because people would like make fake MySpaces of them and stuff.
So we contrast that sweet little moment between Steven and Kristen with Dieter pulling up to Jessica's house and honking at her to come out. She comes out and laughs and tells him, "You're so rude." And Dieter says, "You're really graduating?" And Jessica says, "Thank you for coming." And Dieter tells her, "I told you I'd always come to graduation, no matter how much stupid shit you do." And Jessica asks him, "How have I done stupid shit?" Then she rubs and smacks him on the face and says, "Thanks, buddy." As Dieter starts her car, and she says, "Don't run me over." And I like Jessica. Like, I actually thought she was really cute in the scene, but Dieter is so annoying.
I like their like weird kind of friendship at this point. Like, they're just kind of, I don't know. Like, it's just
friendly exes.
They're like brother and sister at this point. Like, they just mess with each other. And then the only other thing I had to say about this was that Jessica's layering of the tank top. Like, she's wearing a pink tank top and then like a black tank top over it. And I was like, first of all, I would wear that tomorrow because I still layer my tank tops. And it was amazing.
Their dynamic's pretty weird, I have to say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, Dieter's like nice guy, committed to being, good friends or something like that. And then Jessica's Jessica. She's like, I mean, not a bad person at all. Like, I don't know. There's definitely like, as a fan or like just like as a viewer of the show, like, you could tell like there was a lot we didn't see from like their relationship. Like, when you rewatch season 1, you don't see them as a couple very much at all. Like, you see the prom proposal when it says like, "Baby, meet me here," or whatever. And like, you don't see much else. And like, I remember hearing some stuff back then, like, about like MTV wanted to actually focus on their relationship more, but that was just something I heard. I don't know if that's actually true or not.
I wish.
I wish they would have too.
Didn't we hear that somewhere? Like somebody's parent didn't want it, or
Yeah, I know like the only like that's been confirmed on like whatever on the Back to the Beach is like I guess Gary's family didn't want him to like fully participate on the show,
Oh, right.
which is
Yeah.
I totally understood. But I know shout out
Yeah.
Gary. I hope he's doing great. I had a little bit of a crush on Gary once upon a time.
Aw. We love Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we see Alex, Em, and Taylor on the deck at Taylor's house, and I just have to say, wow, Taylor has the most intense, like, bikini strap tan in the scene, and I can almost feel how painful that tan is because she's, like, two completely different colors. I mean, I used to love going to the beach to tan like this in high school, and I feel like it's, like, a thing you'd be proud of to be like, look at how much time I spent outside, like, getting a tan. But me now, like, I hide from the sun. Like, I have on tons of sunscreen, my hat, a beach umbrella. I invest so much in my skincare. I am not about to let all of that go to waste just to get a little bit of a tan, okay?
No way, dude. She earned that. She earned her stripes literally.
Pain and all. Yeah. Alex M tells Taylor that Casey invited all of them over to her house for lunch, and Taylor responds with, "Did you say okay?" And Alex goes, what am I supposed to do? Be like, no? Taylor says she thought they were going to leave it the way things were, but Alex says that she doesn't want to have beef with anyone, so it'd be good to make amends with Casey. She isn't expecting to have a full-blown relationship with Casey again, but it'd be good to not have mad tension. Then they both start mocking Casey's voice, saying, "Hey, Al. Oh, hi. Come in over here. Oh my God, you're so pretty. You're so cute."
First of all, I love Taylor in this scene because she is so like, why are we doing this? We don't like Casey. Like,
Totally.
she is so like, I don't want to do this, which makes me feel like MTV totally forced this makeup.
Yeah.
I feel like Alex M had no desire to be friends with Casey at all. She was just like, whatever, I guess we'll do it for the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the scene was so funny, and their imitations of Casey's voice was so spot on. I don't know, the scene was so funny to me because Taylor's usually not like mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't mean, she was just like, why? I don't want to hang out with her.
Yeah. Without being able to be like, did MTV put you up to this?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
My note was Alex M wanting to bury the hatchet with Casey, even though she could have justifiably beat the brakes off her for making up nasty lies and absolutely botching the apology beyond all human comprehension. Oh.
Yes. So, did you know Casey at all, or run into Casey? Or
No, I had no idea who she was until I saw her on TV, and I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then we all heard those like she. I'm not 100% sure that her house is the one that's like on the cliff overlooking Aliso Beach. So like at the bonfire, like when they're the very first bonfire of the show, they go back there a couple times. There's one house that looks directly down on that spot, and as far as I know, that's actually that house. I was just like, who is this person? And like, it felt very obvious right off the rip that like she wasn't from Laguna because she doesn't look like it. She doesn't act like it. Not that like everyone acts the same or something like that, but like, I don't know. Like, and then watching the show back and then hearing the whole thing about like she moved to Laguna and went to Laguna High School specifically to get on the show. And I was like, well, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense that she became like an MTV yes man. And like every single scene she's in, she's teeing up conversations for everyone else. And like nothing seems all that genuine. And then like all this like retroactive talk, like from like Back to the Beach and so on, and like other people talking about it, like it doesn't seem like anyone is in contact with her like today or anytime recently.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe I have no idea. You know, like I'm speaking about a fucking 18-year-old from 18, 19 years ago. It's like that person then kind of sucked, but like, you know, she could be wonderful now. Who knows? Like maybe she's very normal and down to earth. who I have no idea, but like yeah, like at the time I was like, who the fuck is this girl? And like I guess her dad invented frozen burritos or something like that. And
Oh, that's
like
right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I at the time I was very off put by kind of like the weird, like very gaudy, like showy, like show of wealth and like kind of the vapidness that came with it. And like also the
Hmm.
quesadilla line is like bordering on racist. So like
Yep.
it's just brutal. And then I mean, I don't know, not to jump ahead to 20 seconds, but when they go to the house and she's like, I made you guys sandwiches, and then the maid drops off
Oh my
sandwiches.
gosh.
So I was like, did you
Yeah.
make these sandwiches or
Yeah.
did Imelda make you sandwiches or whatever? Like,
Hmm.
fuck out of here.
Imelda,
I know.
shout out Imelda.
Yeah, justice for Imelda, dude.
We love Imelda.
Yeah, free Imelda, justice for Imelda.
We want Imelda on the podcast.
Yes.
Imelda, if you're
I
out
know.
there, come on the pod.
For real.
We want the secrets of the Reinhardt house.
Oh my God, dude. I would love to hear all the dirt on that. Like, because surely there is, like, right, there's got to be, like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
people like that aren't
definitely.
just, like, clean cut, nice people all the time. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
You know what kind of sucks for Casey though? She literally moved to Laguna to be on the show, and they gave her such a bad edit. Like
Yeah.
they didn't even
Yeah.
make her a likable character, even though she would do like anything for them.
She played ball and they did her dirty
Yeah.
anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Then next, we see Jason arrive at Elsie's house, and he picks her up for a date at his grandparents' house. In the car, Lauren asks him if he thinks they're a random couple, and they both agree. We get more lovey grossness as he kisses her hand, and then she says, "Thank you." Then we get to his grandparents' house, and there's voiceover of her asking him if his grandparents are home, and he says no. Then we get a shot of the backyard, which is beautiful.
Mm.
So I totally understand why he wanted to bring her here. But
Mhm.
then we get a shot of the hot tub, and it looks exactly like Lauren's backyard. And I'm like, is that Lauren's pool?
I don't know.
It was just like a mirror image.
Right? Is this just how rich people's houses look like? Or did they
Yeah.
just take a clip of her house?
Lawrence was custom though.
Yeah.
Yeah, infinity pools are hot for houses like that, I guess.
Yeah.
And like the infinity edge where it just looks like it falls off the face of the earth or whatever. Like that's just,
Mhm.
I guess, the cool thing for extremely nice houses. Which, I mean, fuck, I would do it too.
I'm going to try to clip a side by side because, like, even
Yeah.
the layout of the pool with the hot tub looked exactly the same.
Mhm.
That house was insane.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, like I was like, what? Like, and they're just like, oh, like we're just gonna like jacuzzi. I'm like, okay, that's insane. I would be like starstruck. I'd be like, take me like on a tour. Like I want to see the whole thing. I don't care about the freaking pool. Like, show me the goods. I will say though, Lauren looked incredible in her bikini. And it made me want to start my diet that I'm always starting. That's all I'm gonna say.
She asks him if he could live far away from the beach, and he says, yeah. Then she looks at him and asks, really? And he's like, oh no, not too far. I could live here forever. Then she says, could you? And he tells her, with you. And okay, super cringy, but it was really sweet.
I mean, that was pretty smooth.
So
Yeah.
smooth.
That was smooth.
I mean, that's what I would have said. That's absolutely what I would have said.
Okay. I feel like we never see these two really talk.
Never.
They don't have real conversations.
I wrote that down in my notes too of like, what do they talk about except for like, I like you so much and you're so cute.
They just have these cute flirty moments, but conversation is beyond them. Like even
Yep.
when they start to have a conversation, Lauren will be like, what? And Jason will be like, nothing, you're cute.
Yeah.
It's like, that was a little bit of a conversation. We were almost there.
Yep. Lauren also does her tongue sticking out thing in her teeth in this scene.
Oh yeah, a
Oh
lot.
my god, I know it starts now. Oh
Yeah.
god.
Their date at El Ranchito, I don't think they show the outside look. When they take the little hot rod car or whatever, it's El Ranchito
Mhm.
on PCH. They like their date is like 95% dead air. Like it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure they actually did have a conversation, but they just edited it that way. But I'm like, it just really like the whole show, the entire time, like Lauren is pretty quiet, and like Jason is the guy that just like fumbles over anything that comes out of his mouth most of the time. So it's like it felt very like on track of just like making eyes at each other and then smiling and then being like wet. I'm like, no, wet. Like, but
Yeah.
what the? Like, you're cute.
Totally.
Like, no, you're cute. Like, oh, okay, we got it. Like,
They really build it up just for us to get like the ultimate heartbreak in this
I
next
know.
episode.
oh yeah.
We can't wait.
Yep.
I know.
But the scene ends as they continue to smooch and kiss in the hot tub. And now we're at Jessica's house, and she is getting ready for graduation. We see her little sister, Diana, for the first time, and it's so cool getting to see the cast members' families. I mean, I love getting a glimpse of, like, their siblings. Last year, we got to see Christina's family. We saw Steven's sister. I just think it's so cool. Jessica tells her her dress is kind of like lingerie, but when the dress is on, she swears it looks good. She calls Alex H on the phone and they talk about how nervous they are for graduation. Over at Kristen's house, we see Kristen walking into her living room with her dad, Dennis, and Judith, her mom. She feels, to me, like a little bit icy in this scene, though, and she has mentioned that she didn't have the best relationship with her parents at that time, and, like, I kind of felt it, like,
Oh,
in
yeah.
this scene.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. The part where I noticed it the most was whenever he was like, "Why do you feel weird?" And she's like, "Because I'm graduating." Like she was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so not like, I don't know. You could just really tell there when they're like getting ready and putting dresses on and stuff. I just had this like core memory. I remember being so excited for graduation and going with my mom to pick out a dress. And our cap and gowns were white and the boys were maroon. And they told us our dresses underneath had to be white or light colored because otherwise it was going to show through
like see-through.
the
Mhm.
gown. Yeah. And so I was so mad because I couldn't find anything I liked. And I ended up going with this terrible white dress with brown flowers because it was the only white dress that I could find that I even a little bit liked. And when I showed up to graduation, everyone had on like hot pink and black and dark blue. And I
Oh.
was so irritated. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm the only one who followed the rules. Like, I didn't know that this was a thing. There were girls wearing hot pink and it completely showed through and they didn't get in trouble. So I'm still really bitter about that because I was not happy with my graduation outfit.
I thought you were going to tell me that everyone showed up wearing the same thing. Because, like, if
No.
you tell girls that they have to wear white, like, where are they going to go? Everyone's going to go to the
Right.
same
Yeah.
place.
No, everyone broke the rules except for me. I was the only one that followed the rules, and I was really, really not happy about it. And I'm still so upset because that dress was so ugly. It was just it was not good. So I'm looking at all their dresses, and I'm like, they look cute for graduation. I looked like shit.
That's so funny.
Ugh.
Her dad gives her a graduation gift, and she tells him, "Dad, you already got me a car." And she opens up her gift, which is a frying pan. And Dennis tells her, "So you can cook up some exciting things in your life," which I think is so sweet. And Kristen sarcastically says, "Thanks, Dad," before telling him that it'll be perfect in her apartment. And this scene is so funny because on the Back to the Beach podcast, Kristen says she loves the fact that he got her a frying pan because it was practical. And at that age, you don't think about how much it'll cost to like furnish your place when you move into your own place. But like she loved the fact that he got her like a frying pan.
It's clever.
Yeah, and beautiful jewelry and other things like that are super nice and sweet and like you love receiving it. But I just love the fact that Dennis got her a frying pan. Like I love him.
It's way more memorable and like
Yeah.
she's gonna actually use it, so you know.
And he was saving that line so you can cook up some exciting things in your life. Like, come on.
When she first opened it, I thought it was a laptop.
He should have put it in a laptop box and just faked her out.
Yes.
I was like, oh, it's a laptop. And then she's like, oh, frying pan. I'm like, oh. Never mind.
He's got some good one-liners. He's got the heavy on the makeup, light on the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then cooking up something, whatever, in your life. And I was like,
Yes.
that's pretty funny. And also, she didn't buy her a car. She bought the car with the MTV
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
I
like
know.
weird to have to play along for that, but
She's like pissed to say that.
yeah, I'd be like, fuck that, I bought that.
Yeah.
Over at Alex H's house, we see her in a hot pink lingerie looking dress as well. And her mom gives her a beautiful ring. And Alex says, wow, it's real diamonds, and gives her mom a hug. And I thought this scene was also super sweet because it really did look like her mom was like really proud of her. And Alex was like so grateful and appreciative in this scene. At Jessica's, she has on her pink lingerie looking dress as well. And hers is really sheer. I don't know what she put on like underneath, but like it was sheer, like she said.
It was, yeah.
She opens up a beautiful gift from her dad as well. Then we see a clip of Taylor getting a necklace from her dad, and Casey getting a Tiffany's necklace and a matching bracelet from her family. And her celebration of her like coming down that like grand staircase to her little foyer with all of the balloons was exactly how I thought my graduation was going to look like in my home. It did not. My family was not rich like that. Well, what a disappointment. Okay.
It looked very TV show. Like it looked like it was like a
Yeah.
sitcom TV show, not like a reality show. And also her mom said, "You look scrumptious," which I thought was
I wrote that down too. Yeah.
was very weird and bordering on inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her mom was also in like a suit. Like a
Yeah.
business suit.
Like a business, like looked like she
Oh,
just
I
got
didn't
done
notice.
working or something.
Yeah. Wonder what she does.
Power mom.
Yeah.
Then we see Alex arrive at Kristen's home, and she gives her a gift, which is a picture of them in the limo at prom with what looks like an MTV producer fixing Kristen's mic pack. So it looked like a nice inside joke between the both of them. Then we get Alex M with her family, and she looks really beautiful in the white cap and gown. Like I had to note that because like her dark hair looked really nice against the white. And she gets a gift from her parents, which is her passport, because her parents have paid for her to go to Spain for a month.
A month.
Like
Crazy.
And like by herself?
Oh my God.
Or did they go with her?
Yeah.
Did she even go?
I know.
Like
I was wondering, like, were they all going to Spain for a month, or?
I know, yeah.
I don't know if I would trust my high schooler in Spain for a month
No.
Mm-mm.
by herself.
Totally not. My note was, can you get a passport for someone else? Also, surprise, you're spending a month in Spain. Hope you didn't have plans.
I know.
For real, yeah.
Did you guys notice when Alex M walks out, she's wearing the Dior heels?
No,
No.
I didn't.
Oh my
It's a really
gosh.
short, like, split second. She's wearing the Dior heels she buys in like the first couple episodes.
Oh, I love it.
That's
I know.
good.
I'm like,
catch.
those are perfect graduation shoes.
Yeah.
Then we see the boys, Cedric and Jason, getting ready at Cedric's house. Cedric is planning his wardrobe, but ends up going in nothing but his underwear under his cap and gown, which he is proudly going to show off when he gets his diploma by raising his arms high up in the air. And Jason's in this scene, but he really doesn't say anything. He's just kind of there.
They were like, we need a boy grad scene, like, do something. And that
Yeah.
was what they
Whole
did.
Cedric scene, yeah. Did you ever know Cedric, Rupert?
Yeah, like not too personally, like so many of like especially the boys like growing up and like getting to know them was through sports, like it's like little league
yeah.
and soccer or whatever else. So it's like
Golf?
that's how like most of our no, not golf. But I did try out for the golf team my freshman year, so like they wouldn't have been there, but I tried out, but the tryout was a written test. And I
What?
failed the written test by like 2 questions, and so I could not join the golf
Oh my
team.
god.
Wow.
Yeah. To full disclosure, I didn't really play golf anyway, so it was just
They take golf
didn't matter.
seriously.
But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Laguna Beach High School,
No
you have to
joking
take a
around.
written test.
yeah, my ceramics teacher, the one that you see in the prom thing when he's taking photos, he was the golf coach. But
Oh,
yeah,
how
he
funny.
gave me the test back, and he's like, dude, you were so close, but you only got 1 shot. You couldn't retake it. So it's like if you didn't nail it the first time,
my
you couldn't
gosh.
join the golf team. So I just gave it a go, failed by like 2 questions, and then that was a wrap on that. So whatever.
Wow.
But
Man.
yeah. But yeah, Cedric, I played baseball against Cedric like when I was a kid. I didn't like know him really like personally though, but I sent Lizzie some pictures of my Little League yearbook from like 1995. a couple weeks back,
Mhm.
and it's me and Steven were on the same team, and there's a
Aww.
photo of us carrying our team banner at Angel Stadium, because every year we got to go to a free game at Angel Stadium where they featured like all the little leagues in like Southern California or something like that, and me and
Aw.
Steven are carrying the banner together. But then Cedric has like a, there's like the family ads in the back of the yearbook kind of thing. There was one for Cedric that I noticed, and it had his, I think it's like his dad. It's his dad's like a lawyer, and it was like a business card for like their law firm or something. It's kind of, I thought it was kind of
That's
funny.
funny.
That is
Aw.
funny.
Then we're back to Jessica, who is now in her white cap and gown and trying to figure out which side her tassel should go on. She says, "This is my right side, right?" As she puts her tassel to her left, and her family laughs, and her dad asks her, "And you're graduating?" And we get a glimpse of Karen, Jessica's mom, and holy crap, Jessica is literally a spitting image of her mom. Like, they look
Mhm.
exactly alike. Like, some kids really do look like their parents. Do you guys look like any of your, like, either one of your mom or dad?
Me and my mom are like twins like that. Like we've had people come up to us like in the past and like gosh, okay, there was one time we were like in a doctor's office, like a really weird setting, and we were literally just like sitting there. Like I think I had an appointment and she just like came with me. And this random man came up to us and was like, "I just have to ask, are you guys sisters or mother and daughter?" We were like, "Mother and daughter." And he's like, "Okay." And it was like so weird, but that's happened to us like a lot. So
Aw.
yeah. But both of my kids look like Kyle, so
No, I think they look like you.
They look like you, but they
Yeah.
also very much look like Kyle too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie looks like Kyle.
Yes. Yes. Oh yeah.
I used to look like my mom a lot when I was younger. Like my mom in our photo albums, like our family photo albums, put like a photo of me at 3 years old and a photo of her at like 4 or 5 to like next to each other, and we borderline look like the same person. But then the older I've gotten, like I have a lot more of my dad's features. I have my dad's hairline, as you can see. That doesn't come from your mom's side always. I would say maybe 60-40 my mom at this point, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like my dad. But I have like weird things of my mom. Like my nose is my mom's, and then everything else is my dad. And my sister is my mom, but she has my dad's nose. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. Yeah.
like we're the exact opposite. And
Puzzle pieces, yeah.
I feel like my sister and I don't look alike at all because I don't know. I think there's something to be said about age differences. Like we're 14 years apart, so the genes mix differently. Like I don't know. It's just like I feel like if we were born closer together, we would have looked more alike. I don't know, but yeah. So we look completely different. I feel like she got my mom, and I got most of my dad. So
I get that too. So my sister and I are 7 years apart, and she looks exactly like my mom, and I feel like I look exactly like my dad.
yeah.
To the point where like I have this photo in mind, like this horrible passport photo, and sometimes I look at it and I'm like, if I cut my hair, I literally see my dad like at 20 years old. I'm like, it's so creepy. And I feel like girls always hate being told that they look like their dads because
Mhm.
you're like, I want to be pretty like my mom. Like you feel
Aw.
like you're being told you look like a boy, but
When I was younger, I used to cry because people used to tell me I looked like my dad. That was like always the first thing out of their mouths, and I thought it meant I looked like a boy. So I would literally cry. My mom would be like, "No, it doesn't mean you look like a boy. It just means that you got some of his features. It's okay." And I'd be like,
I know
wanna look
exactly
Yeah.
what you mean.
that's what it feels like. They're telling you look like a boy. And my dad would be like, "Why are you so upset? Do you think I'm ugly?" And I'm like, "No,
I
know.
know. Don't ask me that question.
I know."
Then we see Taylor with her mom, and Taylor says the white cap and gown is putting her in kind of a bad mood because it makes her look like a bag. Her mom tells her, exactly, that's why you've got to go ultra sexy underneath to counteract the potato bag effect, which I thought was so cute. Her
I
mom
love
is so
that.
funny.
Yeah.
The potato bag line made me laugh because I'm like, it's not called a potato bag. It's a potato sack.
Yeah.
Just small semantics, I guess.
Then we see Kristen and Alex in their caps and gowns, and they also talk about how ugly the gowns are. Then we are off as all of the seniors are headed to graduation. Now we are at the graduation ceremony, and we see friends and family, including Stephen and Dieter, there. All of the seniors start walking in with the boys wearing maroon and girls in white. And I think we commented on this last year as well, but it's such a nice combo, like these two colors together.
Mm-hmm.
All the girls, Jessica, Kristen, and Alex, and then Alex, Taylor, and Morgan are having really cute moments throughout this like graduation montage. Everyone's got their digital cameras, they're taking pictures. It's just really sweet. And I think we felt the same watching the season 1 graduation, but it feels even more bittersweet this go around because I feel like we really got to see like the season 2 cast a lot more. So I felt like even more sad to see them graduating because they would be off our screens very
Yeah.
soon.
I know.
And I have a little note here. I'm like, hey, is that Sam sitting next to Kristen? Did you guys see
I
that?
didn't even notice.
I didn't notice either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, that whole montage of like them graduating and stuff, I was just like, how cool to have a graduation video that's focused on like your close friends.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like that would have been really nice.
As if it all revolved around like you and your friends.
Like it would have been really nice, and like I'm jealous that they got that.
People also weren't as excited at my graduation. I feel like these like Laguna Beach kids were like running out of the stadium, like screaming.
Yeah.
And I feel like
yeah,
people were not this excited at my graduation.
No, mine neither.
Yeah, it was like we were like just trying to get through the boring speeches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next scene is Alex H. and Kristen the next day in bed talking about graduation. Alex snaps a picture on those cameras that have the manual crank things. What are they called?
Disposable cameras.
Disposable cameras.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Disposable cameras. Which is super
Dream.
cute. Alex H. talks about not understanding the saying, "This is the end of the beginning." And Kristen tells her she has no patience to explain it to her, but tries to tell her that it's the end of one chapter and the beginning of the rest of our lives. But cute Alex still doesn't get it. And Alex says, "I can't believe we're now college students. What if we gain the freshman 15? And then Kristen looks at her and goes, "You will, I won't." Bitch.
Dude, I feel like she was so serious.
Yeah, that was so
Totally.
mean.
You will, I won't.
Cold-blooded.
Which is like, it's funny, but Kristen does this so much
So
Yeah,
much.
too much.
to Alex. Yeah.
I also thought it was kind of odd in this scene that they were both like, we're going to college, because they both went and lived in LA together and did not
Yeah.
go to college. So I'm like, were they planning to, or was that all, were they just like saying that?
you're
like,
right.
I wondered about
I
that,
think
you know?
MTV wanted that narrative of everybody going to
Yeah.
college.
Not, we're going to go to LA and think we're famous people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said they're like, we're college students now. And I'm like, well, you haven't
Mhm.
even enrolled yet. You just graduated high
Yeah.
school. What do you mean? It's like you don't just become a college student the second you're
Right.
done.
You actually have to get in.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, over at Casey's house, we see Morgan, Alex M., and Taylor arrive at her door. They're all dressed super cute, and they're kind of coordinated, actually, like the colors and patterns, I thought. But Alex's dress has like a super low back, which I thought was really cute, and I would love a dress like that.
Yeah.
Casey opens the door, and they all hug, and she tells them, "I made you guys lunch." And then she tells them they're having sandwiches, but the sandwiches aren't even on the table, like you said, Rupert. So, yeah, pretty
Ugh.
sure Imelda or someone else is making these sandwiches.
They look like really good sandwiches, though. It's like ciabatta bread. Did you guys see? I was
I did
watching when
not
I was
look that-
hungry. I'm like, they look good. This is the most awkward lunch ever. No one wants to be there.
Nobody.
It's all so fake, yeah.
Alex is like staring at the ground, like
Literally.
Yeah.
It is so
And she
bad.
can't hide like how much she doesn't want to be there.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so bad. I was like, oh, wow.
So they talk about graduation, and Morgan mentions that someone said, "Next year you won't talk to 95% of these people, so stand up and look around at your graduating class because this is it." And it's so true. Like, you never think about these things as a kid, but it's
It's true.
good to
Mhm.
appreciate like the moment and people around you. And I feel like that even happens with us now, or at least like I'll speak for myself, me now. I'm always looking for like what's going to happen next. And you don't
Mhm.
really like take time to appreciate what's going on right now. It's really have to do that more.
And with high school, it's like you take for granted the fact that you literally see these people every day because you have to.
Yeah.
And like, it's not, and now it's going to be like, if you want to stay in touch with these people, you're going to have to make an effort because everybody's going to go in a different direction. Yeah. And I think that's like the toughest part about like after high school. Cause I remember waking up literally the day after graduation and being like, I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to go anywhere or see anyone if I don't want to. And like, I'm not very like motivated like, most of the time. So like navigating that after high school was, you know, something. But like nobody's gonna force me to go to class. That's a problem. But I got over that. But yeah, it was just like having to make that effort to like call your friends because you're not gonna see them second period, you know? So
Totally. So Casey's really trying to play nice during this meal. She says, "You guys, we're growing up." And then Alex goes, "We're turning into women." Which is so funny because she clearly like doesn't want to be there and she's so uncomfortable. She's just making these like funny like statements. And then Casey tells them she's glad that they came over, and Morgan and Taylor agree that it's good to work things out and not leave with drama. And then Casey looks at Alex and she takes her hand and she tells her, "I'm so glad we became friends again and forgot everything." And then Alex looks at her and goes, "Friends. Friends forever." And she like instantly drops her hand and looks over at Morgan. So it's like she's trying to be nice in the moment, but she just cannot fake her emotions. And like that is so me. I'm like, I cannot fake my emotions either. So I would be Alex.
Yeah, she kept it real. Kind of.
Now, on to the best scene of the episode. We see Lauren and Jason on the beach sitting and talking. And Rupert, I know you already told the story of how you were kind of part of the scene, not really. Can you tell us again what happened?
Yeah, so I mean, I think in my original episode, I guess you can call it, I might have oversold it a bit of how aggressively I yelled at the MTV guy. I mostly just said, "Don't fucking touch my stuff." I swore at him, but it wasn't like shouting, you know, like threatening violence or anything like that. I was just like, "Hey, don't fucking touch my stuff." But anyway, we came down to the beach, and me and I think my two friends got there to go skimboarding. I see Jason and Lauren sitting down way down the beach, like maybe 100 meters or so. Let's go for all my metric people out there. And the MTV guy came up and he was like, "Hey, bro, is it all right if I just scoot your stuff over a few feet? We're like trying to get this shot." And I just looked at him, kind of deadpan and it's very me if you know me a little bit better. I just went, "No." And he kind of like, he like crept up to my stuff and like wanted to touch it, and I said no, and he kind of just like crept backwards and he was like, "Oh, okay," and then like walked away. And then I could see them like being filmed down the beach or whatever, and then I look at the waves, and then, you know, a minute or two later I look back and he's just like grabbing our shit and moving it over, and I was like, "Hey man, don't fucking touch my stuff," because like if he like just came up to me personally and maybe tried to like plead a case a little bit better, or was just trying to like try to be a little bit nicer about it, I might have just been like, "Yeah, fine." But like, I didn't want to move my stuff. I put it there on purpose. Like, don't touch my shit. It's mine. Eventually, once it does get scooted over, Jason and Lauren come walking by. I do remember Jason looking over at us because like I know Jason a little bit, not like he knew my friend Harley, who I was with, shout out Harley, and he kind of just gave us like a look and like a smirk / shrug of like, like, "Hey guys, sorry," kind of that kind of like look like through the eyes, and they walked off. But I definitely was pretty fucking annoyed with the MTV dude or whatever, like touching my stuff without permission. Maybe I could have been more accommodating, possibly, but also fuck them. I don't care.
Lauren and Jason are at the beach, and Lauren looks so pretty. She has her signature straight hair, oversized glasses, a tube top, and lots of like gold layering necklaces on. I just thought she looked so beautiful here. They talk about how Lauren is moving to LA soon before the summer ends, and Jason tells her he thinks he's going to move to LA too. And she says, "You're moving to LA? Everyone's moving to LA." And like, she kind of wasn't that surprised in the scene, so probably wasn't like the first time they talked about that. Then we get a scene of Alex H., Kristen, and Jessica at the beach. So Kristen talked about this scene on Back to the Beach and said it's a pickup scene that they filmed way after because the producers kept making them use those like little beach chairs all the time. And Jessica's hair is also like a totally different shade of brown here.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it was so like, it stood out. Alex tells him that she has some good stuff to tell him, and she says that Lauren and Jason are dating. And Jessica and Kristen's reactions are so good. I mean, I kind of like would have believed that this was their real reactions.
Me too.
Kristen's was like in disbelief, and Jessica's like laughing at the situation. And Jessica sarcastically says, I wonder if he'll treat her better. And Kristen says, I wonder how that started. Alex says, I think Lauren's more into it than he is, like always. And Kristen says, Jason is weird with girls. He doesn't show any emotion or act like he even likes anyone. Jessica pipes in and says, he treated me horribly. He treated Alex horribly. She's not going to be able to change him as much as she thinks she will. Kristen says, guarantee you he's going to cheat on her. And Alex says, I give it like 2 more weeks.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to watch Jessica talk shit considering what happens in the next episode.
Yeah. Especially if they shot
Yeah.
this later, like she knows what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah. She's like laughing about it.
Yeah. And it's like such a mean conversation, but like Kristen doesn't like Lauren. Jason treated Jess like ass. Like, I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from the sounds of the Back to the Beach, it sounds like they were all absolutely over it and didn't give a shit about anything. So they're just like
Yeah.
letting it fly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so it's like, I mean, it makes good TV. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then back to Lauren and Jason, they get up and walk off the beach. And we get a glimpse of Lauren's full outfit, and she's wearing jeans with like little crowns on like the back pocket. And I don't know what brand that is, but in the
True
2000s,
Religion.
is it True Religion?
Yeah.
Never owned one. In the 2000s, it was like so cool to wear jeans with big logos or brand names on the like your back pockets, like rhinestones, glitter, big obnoxious patterns. Like the more the better.
Mhm.
And these days, it's also like plain and minimalistic, which I do love right now. But I wonder when these like back pocket design jeans will make a comeback.
In some circles, it definitely is. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I worked at a Nordstrom and sold clothes in like the height of Affliction, Rock and Republic, and True Religion, like exploding everywhere. But I still see like they're not exactly the same jeans now, but like the really heavy stitching, flappy back pocket, over detailed stuff. Like I do see those around. Like I think it's just part of like different subcultures now. But it is funny to see like kind of like callbacks, and then like Gen Zers picking up on fashions of like a bygone era that like are, you know, you could tell they're like not quite right because it's like their
Yeah.
own version, like the new version of it. It's pretty funny, also hideous. But
Yeah.
Jason tells her, I love Lauren. And Lauren asks him, what? And he repeats, I love Lauren. And then she goes, aw.
Just say I love you, you weirdo.
You're supposed to love this, Candace.
No.
You love Lauren. I know. I'm
I mean,
so
I do
surprised
love
by how
Lauren.
much you dislike all this lovey-dovey stuff.
Because
But
Jason
wait,
sucks.
I know. Okay,
Yeah.
let me finish. I love this shit. He goes, this is unbelievable. She says, this is unbelievable? You're unbelievable. And then he goes, thank you. And I put, oh my God, these two again with the non-talking talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally have not had a conversation about anything.
No.
And the episode ends as they walk off the beach. We see Jason give her a shove, and then Lauren playfully tries to trip him. But that is the episode, guys. Did you have any favorite outfits?
I had 2. I mean, one was just mostly because it was humorous. Jason shows up to, I think, Lauren's house, and he's wearing like pretty much black, like black t-shirt, black socks, skate shoes, and everything. But he's wearing surf trunks as a part of his like day outfit, which like at the time was a thing. And it's like so funny because like it just kind of brought me back to that time of like for that hot second there when it's like wearing surf trunks like as a part of just like the shorts you're wearing for the day was like the cool thing to do, which like looks fucking dumb. And it just reminds me of like walking around in soggy trunks after like leaving the beach or something like that. But yeah, my favorite outfit was actually the pickup shot. And it was Jessica's like red orange top over her like bathing suit, the Chanel sunglasses, and then just like the plain silver hoop earrings. Like I don't know what it is about just plain silver hoops, but like I think those are like the best looking earrings if you're gonna wear something dangly. And then the Chanel sunglasses were just like so of the time.
Top
and
tier.
like, but it still looks pretty good too. Like I was on eBay 2 hours ago looking for sunglasses from like Chanel sunglasses from like 2004 of like not those shaped ones, but like the other ones like everyone is wearing in every other episode. Like I think those are the most flattering for my face. So I wanted to track them down and I couldn't find any. So that made me sad.
Oh, there were not a lot of outfits that stuck out to me in this episode, but I did like Alex H's her red cover up in that very last scene. It kind of looked like it could have been a dress, but it was like over her bathing suit and it was like a bright red color. I thought it was cute. I also liked Heidi's white tank top when they were making the bed. It had like little ruffles on it.
That was a cute shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely am going to say Jessica layering her tank tops when she's talking to Dieter, just because that's so 2000s and I liked it a lot. I mean, I liked Jen's outfit, but I can't give it to her because it's Jen.
Ooh, I thought you were going to.
I can't do it. I'm going to give it to Jessica with the layering tank tops because I would literally wear that tomorrow. So.
And I loved Alex M's dress with the really low back when they're at Casey's house, and then Lauren's beach day outfit. How about your favorite moments?
I love Lauren because it was so cringy.
I mean, I don't know, cringe. Actually, my favorite moment was in the car. Do you think we're random? It's just such a weird 2004 way of talking, or specifically Laguna, like the overuse of the word random for like everything.
My favorite part was Taylor's mom telling her to wear something sexy under the cap and gown to counteract the potato bag.
And I am a sucker for all of these cute moments, no matter how cringy they are. So every single non-conversation conversation that Jason and Lauren have is my favorite.
Gross.
Even the gross like kissing noises and stuff.
Especially the kissing noises.
So much smooching, it's crazy.
I know.
Ugh. Yeah.
So anyways, thank you so much, Rupert, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed recapping that episode with us. It sounds like
super fun.
You're having a lot of fun rewatching Laguna Beach and like reliving your days in high school there. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, it's been a trip. Yeah, but I honestly, even though it's going to be terrible, I can't wait for season 3.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Us too. Thank you so much for listening to our Season 2 recap of Laguna Beach. You can follow us on our Instagram at millennialteav, that's millennialteav on Instagram and on Reddit. And if you have any suggestions for our podcast, you can also send us an email at millennialteav@gmail.com. Again, that's millennialteav@gmail.com. Also, give us a follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts to get notified when we release our episodes every Tuesday. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.